California earthquakes today. We have a flurry of quakes hitting the west coast. Does that mean that the big one is coming? It's not just a flurry of quakes, it's also the foreshocks, aftershocks, and continuous quakes. Besides these 4.5 and 4.7, both of them on the Hayward Fault. Kaisha Langton on Express UK reports the earthquakes struck the west coast over the past few days, but these signs, are they the signs of the big one coming? California has been hit by more than 3,000 earthquakes in the past 7 days, amid speculation that the big one will soon shake the entire community. Los Angeles has 31% chance of seeing a magnitude 7.5 earthquake, which is strong as we know, in the next 30 years, according to U.S. Geological Survey. Californians have been waiting for the quake they call the big one since 1906, when San Francisco experienced an estimated magnitude 7.9 earthquake along the San Andreas Fault and devastated the city. But is the big one really coming? Now, as we know, there were a lot less people living in California in that time. According to Earthquake Track, California has experienced 55 earthquakes in the past 24 hours and 440 earthquakes in the past 7 days, while 2,643 earthquakes were recorded in the past 30 days in California, 17,935 in the past 365 days. Now, well, that's very difficult for me to believe, because at least 60,000 quakes were felt in the Ridgecrest area. I think these are the ones that they've stated here in this article, perhaps are above 2.5 magnitude. They don't make that clear. Now, the large earthquake recorded today, the largest at the time of writing, was 3.1 at Ridgecrest, California, and that was the same location as the 7.1 earthquake that hit on July 6th, Friday. And the earthquake lasted only 12 seconds, but that was felt by around 30 million people, with more than 6,000 people losing power. As we know, California is a very seismic area because it resides on the boundaries of North American tectonic plate and the subsiding Pacific plate. It's a subduction zone, a point where the two plates meet and grind against one another, and also that's the area of the San Andreas Fault and the system. This is also where the Hayward Fault is, the Calaveras Fault is, and they give a 72% chance that San Francisco Hayward system will give a 6.7 magnitude earthquake up to 2032. Now, what would define the big one? The U.S. Geological Survey groups earthquakes in magnitude scale from minor to great. The valuation scale is like this. Great earthquake is magnitude 8 or more. Major earthquake is 7 to 7.9 magnitude. So the one we had in Ridgecrest of 7.1, it was a major earthquake. Strong earthquake is from 6 to 6.9 magnitude. Moderate earthquake is from 5 to 5.9. Magnitude 4 to 4.9 is light, and minor is magnitude 3 to 3.9. So classification of 4.5 and 4.7 that we had around the Bay Area and Pinnacles was 14 hours later was light. Now, most earthquakes on record do not meet USGS classification of strong. The big one is hypothetically magnitude 8 or higher, which is thought to strike California every few hundred years. In 1906, California came close to the big one when a magnitude 7.9 destroyed much of San Francisco. Of course, at that time, there were only about 200,000 people living there, as opposed to 8 million of today. Now, devastating fires broke out in the city after the quake struck and lasted for several days. And as a result, there was great destruction, not just from the building collapses, but also from the fire. If another or larger earthquake were to strike California, the potential loss would be immense, because of the fact that now we even have high-rise buildings which will not be able to withstand the earthquake of such a magnitude, plus the fact that a lot of these buildings are on very soft sediment landfill area around the San Francisco Bay Area, where most people live and work, and that is not going to stand. It's going to turn into something like quicksand. So now there's no way to chart or predict if such an event will occur again or how soon, but according to USGS, parts of the fault line may appear overdue for a major earthquake. USGS said that the paleoseismic data on different parts of the San Andreas fault zone are telling us that some sections appear to be past the average or overdue for a significant earthquake. And they say, but the data can't be used to make predictions. We do not understand earthquakes well enough to know exactly where the next earthquake will occur, what the magnitude will be, or exactly when it will happen. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.